There wouldn't be positive without negative. It's part of the life scenario. Ancient scripture says it best. There's a time to laugh and a time to cry. You've got to become so sophisticated and well-educated that you don't laugh when it's time to cry. You've also got to learn to cry well. How are you going to identify with others if you don't cry with them? The negative side is very important, so don't ignore it. You need to let it be a part of the scenario. In fact, you need to learn to master it. Negativity is not to be ignored. It's to be mastered. It makes us better than we are to wrestle with it. It makes us better than we are to acknowledge and fight tyranny that moves into vulnerable countries, ignorance that moves into your life, procrastination that robs you of your fortune, or poor health. That's the legacy of neglecting your health disciplines. You've got to do battle with the enemies, those outside of you as well as those within. So learn how to handle the negative. Negativity can actually be a powerful force for change. The next stage in a life-changing day is decision. If you sat down today and made a list of changes you've decided to make, that list could furnish enough inspiration for the next 5 or 10 years. What an inspiring day. The day you bring yourself to decide to change your life. The third stage is desire, wanting that change badly enough. Sometimes desire waits for a trigger, waits for something to happen. It may be a movie, a seminar, a sermon, a book, a confrontation with an enemy, or a conversation with a friend who finally levels with you. Whatever the experience, it is so valuable. Here's my best advice. Welcome all experiences. You'll never know which one is going to turn your life around. Don't put up walls. The walls that keep out disappointment also keep out happiness. Take down the walls. Go for the experience. Let it teach you. The last stage of a life-changing day is resolve. Resolve says, I will. These are two of the most powerful words in the language. The best definition of resolve I've ever heard came from a junior high school student in Foster City, California. I was addressing her class one day, and we were discussing some key words. I asked the kids, who can tell me what resolve means? Some didn't know the answer, and some tried to guess. The last answer I got was the best. This girl about 2 rows back says, I think I know, Mr. Rohn. I think resolve means promising yourself you'll never give up. I said, that's the best definition I've ever heard. She's probably giving her own seminar somewhere today. Promise yourself you'll read the books until your skills change. You'll go to seminars until you get a handle on what they're teaching. You'll practice until you develop the skills. Never give up until you've gotten what you want. Don't miss the chance to grow. Do something different the next 90 days than you did the last 90 days, like picking up the books to read. Do something different, like the new health disciplines, relationship with your family, whatever it is, doesn't matter how small it is. If you'll start doing different things with the same circumstances, since we cannot change the circumstances, but we can change ourselves. We can change what we do. And then he gave me another secret to success when he said, what you have at the moment, Mr. Rohn, you've attracted by the person you've become. What you have at the moment, you've attracted by the person you've become. Few little simple principles here. Once you understand these, it starts to explain so much. Now, sometimes it's a little tough to take, blaming yourself instead of the marketplace. Taking responsibility instead of putting it off on someone else. That transition sometimes is a challenging mission. And this one was a little tough for me. He said, Mr. Rohn, you've got pennies in your pocket, you've got nothing in the bank, the creditors are calling, you're behind on your promises. And he says, here's how that occurs. You've attracted, up until now, you've attracted the things to you because of the person you've become. Now I said, well, how can I change all that? He said, very simple. If you will change, everything will change for you. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for fewer problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenge. Wish for more wisdom. So take advantage of the day. Take advantage of the opportunity and read every book you can get your hands on to learn how to take advantage of the spring. Get busy quickly on your springs, your opportunities. All values must be defended. Social values, political values, friendship values, business values, all must be defended. Every garden must be tended all summer. If you don't develop this skill, you'll never wind up with anything of value. The fourth major lesson in life is this: learn how to reap in the fall without complaint. Take full responsibility for what happens to you. One of the highest forms of human maturity is accepting full responsibility. Learn how to reap in the fall without apology if you have done well, and without complaint if you have not. That's being mature. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's the best way to be. The seasons don't work for you or against you. They just are what they are. They are guaranteed to come every year, bringing both the positive and the negative.
Now I want you to answer this question. What kind of person must I become to achieve all I want? And I'll give you time to write that down now. What kind of person must I become to achieve all I want? Now we've got two things working. What you become helps you to achieve, and what you achieve helps you to become. And the more you become, the more you can achieve, and the more you achieve, the more you can become. Who knows which affects the other the most? So now just write this exercise. Start with a few sentences. We won't have time for you to, take a lot of time, but just start with a few sentences. Your concept of the person you think you must become to achieve what you want. This is time for a little truth here. Maybe you need to become much wiser than you are at the moment. You need to become stronger. You need to have better health. Maybe you need a little coaching to really become the person I want to become. I'm going to have some coaching. Physical coaching, spiritual coaching, developing skills coaching. To be the influence you want to be, you got to build an incredible reputation. What kind of person must I be to attract all that I want in my life, and the people that I want, and the opportunities that I want? When you knock on the door and opportunity opens, you must stand there as a very attractive person, or you may not be invited.